He did it. He hit #1. What's going on, YouTube? Obviously, it is a huge weekend. What a weekend to celebrate. The homie Ren has done it independently. He has made history. He has not gotten rickrolled. He has made it to #1 on the UK chart. So absolutely incredible accomplishment to Ren. But I thought, you know what? Let's celebrate. Let's do a little bit of a victory lap right now. As promised, this right here right now is none other than Sick Boi Part 2. Distortion. Give me that bass.
Sick boy, allopathic script boy, pathogenic, schizophrenic, call it medic, quick boy.
Pathogenic, schizophrenic, nice triplet flow with some Merriam-Webster words right here. Allopathic, right? That is relating to Western medicine and the way that we do things. You know, you have symptoms, you have disease, and then we script out a cure for it and we try to treat it sort of after the fact of things happening. It's less sort of preventative medicine and more so reactionary medicine. I take that as, I don't know, it's Ren, so who knows what's on his mind with this, but I love the way that he's just flipped Sick Boi around yet again. So many different variations and allusions to the original Sick Boi. Drop in one more time.
Sick boy, allopathic script boy, pathogenic, schizophrenic, call it medic, quick boy, just wanna scratch the itch boy.
Obviously pathogenic, schizophrenic, so he's kind of crazy. He's playing off of like being sick when you say someone's like mentally ill versus being physically ill, because he's kind of both, really. It's sort of going hand in hand. So I love how those two words like pathogenic, you know, relating to pathogens, passing it on physically, versus schizophrenic, something happening in the mind. He's sort of combining the physical with the mental deterioration that he's experienced, and this is kind of the world that he takes us into throughout this album.
Call it medic, quick boy, just wanna scratch the itch boy. Agoraphobic, multi-psychosis, own it, I'm that sick boy. Nothing to lose, nothing to win or to prove, nothing but holes in my
Even something like just want to scratch the itch, like it could be like symptoms and he has itches, so he's literally scratching it, versus scratching the itch could be alluding to drugs because he's so like drugged up. Now he's developing these different addictions and reliances on them.
Medic, quick boy, just wanna scratch the itch boy. Agoraphobic, multi-psychosis, own it, I'm that sick boy. Nothing to lose.
I'm going to sit here and just be explaining different words to you guys. Hello, Knox Dictionary. So agoraphobic, right? We did a corpse song relating to that. That's when you have just this fear of going outside, of crowded public spaces. You don't want to go out into the world. So you see all these conditions that are being created for Ren. I mean, it's just like a melting pot of madness. Thank God he was able to create music through it all.
Pathogenic, schizophrenic, call it medic, quick boy, just wanna scratch the itch boy. Agoraphobic, multi-psychosis, own it, I'm that sick boy. Nothing to lose, nothing to win or to prove, nothing but holes in my shoes. Nothing but nothing, I'm hustling, bustling, pain is a paradox I didn't choose. Nothing but truth, nothing but fire.
That's a great line. Pain is a paradox I didn't choose. You know, in a paradox, something that seems like it's completely illogical or there's a fallacy to it, but once you look underneath of it, there is truth. And I take that as pain, like he can't accept it. This can't be right. Pain is the paradox of his life, and yet underneath of it, it becomes a part of his being and a part of his essence, because we think we can't live with this constant state of pain, but he's learned somehow just to accept it and move forward. As he said in other tracks, pain is his author, and he's learned to accept sort of that darkness within him. You know what's cool is this little triplet flow, da-da-da-da-da-da. You hear just like little ad-libs, sort of like mainstream ad-libs. Ooh, ooh, like he's just making all kinds of noises. Then right here, when he like coasts out of it and switches up the flow, you've got a cool little demonic voice underneath. Like I said before, a lot of this album is about so many different flow changes, intonation variations, a lot of switches to production, switches to the engineering and mixing as well. He's very, very versatile throughout this album.
I'm that sick boy. Nothing to lose, nothing to win or to prove, nothing but holes in my shoes. Nothing but nothing, I'm hustling, bustling, pain is a paradox I didn't choose. Nothing but truth, nothing but fire in the booth, nothing that you could do I couldn't do, nothing that you could do better, forget all the others, I'm aiming at you. Cytotoxic, nice. Diagnostic, catastrophic news. Since I got sick, no for one, the pain it comes in twos. Catatonic, antipsychotic.
Since I got sick, the pain it comes in twos.
Nothing that you could do better, forget all the others, I'm aiming at you.
Also, like the Fire in the Booth, like he's bringing Fire in the Booth, but there's also a UK series, Fire in the Booth. He's probably shouting
Fire
that
in
out.
The booth, nothing that you
Didn't they? Oh, he even said to me, he said in the interview that we did, the last live stream that we did, he said he was invited to be on Fire in the Booth, but he couldn't do it, unfortunately, because of his treatment and everything he was going through.
Do I could do nothing that you could do better. Forget all the others, I'm aiming at you. Cytotoxic, diagnostic, catastrophic news. Since I got sick, no for one, the pain it comes in twos. Catatonic, antipsychotic, beta blockers, antibiotics. Watch the clock, take quick the lock, pick quick, let's dip, get loose. Wait for a minute, I'm struggling.
Wow, really cool drop down. Da, 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 da. And like I said, he's got internal A rhymes, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 ooh, and then he's got B rhymes external, so he goes 1 2 1 2 1 2 ooh, 1 2 1 2 1 2 ooh.
There's antibiotics, watch the clock.
Antibiotics, there we go again. Like he's just these different medical terms and things that he's dealing with, trying to treat himself.
Pain it comes in twos. Catatonic, antipsychotics, beta blockers, antibiotics. Watch the clock, take quick the lock, pick quick, let's dip, get loose.
Pathatonic. Did you say pathatonic? What is like relating to vitamins, pathatonic, or study of pathogens? I'm not sure of that word. Oh, we stumped me on that one.
Antipsychotics, beta blockers, antibiotics. Watch the clock, take quick the lock, pick quick, let's dip, get loose. Wait for a minute, I'm struggling with it. I'm doubling down and I'm doubling digits. I live with the pain and forgive it. Cause bitterness eats you alive when you're in it. Admit it, then flip it, then rip up the script. It's fitting that I have been screaming at demons.
Wow, I live with the pain and forgive it because bitterness does eat you alive. And there it is. There's that acceptance that I can't change this constant state of pain that I'm in. So I've got to learn to cope and accept it.
Because bitterness eats you alive when you're in it. Admit it, then flip it, then rip up the script. It's fitting that I have been screaming at demons that visit. I'm feeling so rigid. I lean on religion, but God said I'm laughing. I'm burning my bridges. Car crash, whiplash.
I lean on religion, but God sits there laughing. And you could see this. You could see someone going into this situation. You know, Ren is definitely an idealist, and he's an optimist too, which is amazing considering all the negative, cynical shit that has happened in his life. And I think this album represents kind of that struggle, like him sort of reaching for the light while wandering through and walking through darkness, and just sort of sharing that struggle with us, whether it relates to his own psychology, his own morality, his own grasping at religion. And he's got so many religious references, which, you know, is interesting for someone who has proclaimed himself as an agnostic. Like, he's obviously walked into this having a belief in religion and systems, and maybe this has shaken that belief to its core and made him question so many things, but he still just struggles with these different issues of morality and internal struggle of self.
Religion, but God said I'm laughing, I'm burning my bridges. Car crash, whiplash, ambulance, body bag.
Really dope ad-lib there to set up the car crash. You hear the car crashing in the background, and then he says car crash with another flow switch.
Car crash, whiplash, ambulance, body bags, zip back. It's a game of circumstance. Wrong turn, everything can all collapse. Get burned, back inside the relapse. Cracks, they stack back to back, and I'm back on my back inside the counter attack. Pop Prozac, knock it back, wash it down and relax, and that's that. Subtract, collapse.
Prozac, knock it back, and that's that, right? To help treat his depression and his anxiety and all these symptoms. It's like, you know, this just sort of bridge that keeps burning and growing, and the fire is spreading. He starts with one symptom and one issue. You try to treat that. It creates another symptom, another issue, and the misdiagnoses as they continued. Then he's creating just this concoction and cocktail within his body that he's struggling with. It's a game of circumstance, and these are the circumstances that he's been dealt. But I also could take circumstance calling back to, you know, the Western medicine and the way that he's been treated for all of this. And I can definitely see a Ren who sees flaws within the medical system and within just the whole ideology around purely Western medicine too, because he's just sought whatever avenue he could to try to treat himself and to try to help cope with things.
Pop Prozac, knock it back, wash it down and relax, and that's that. Subtract, collapse, react, adapt.
Lost money, 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 get into the bag like I got nothing to lose, yeah. Like I got nothing to lose, getting lost money, 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 get into the bag like I got nothing to lose, yeah.
Oh.
Like I got nothing to lose, getting lost money like a job.
Once upon a time that was not.
Getting money like it's a job, but getting lost, money, getting to the bag. And again, you could take that as, I see some of that, getting that money tying to the bag, because all these drugs and everything he's on could be alliterations to big pharma and, you know, the massive drug industry that it is, but also like he's used this pain and this sickness to really get the bag through his career. And then like we talked about with sort of the triplet flows and some of those sort of like mainstream influences you see on this track, that's a very sort of catchy hook. It's got like a bounce and a swagger to it like you would hear on a radio style rap track. Is that his voice that's been like screwed down? Getting to the bag, look, I got nothing. Like there's that voice, like sort of demonic, chopped and screwed. I think it's Ren's voice, or it could be a sample of someone else. And then there's like this robotic voice stacked with it. So you have like this higher metallic-y sound on top of this lower bassy demonic sound. Pretty cool juxtaposition of those layers within the engineering.
Once upon a time that was not long ago, there lived a boy inside his mind. Sometimes the thought would overflow and grow until they blinded the boy, he decomposed. And if you read between the lines of his story, you will know that
lines, oh, ein, oh. See again? Da 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 ein, da 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 oh, da 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 ein, da 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 oh. Very cool flow, but again, internal to external rhyme writing and stacking. It's poetry. It's poetry and the mechanics that he applies to his rap writing. And a boy living in his mind, but he's been decomposed. And you could see the decomposition of Ren as he's discussed, and someone who overthinks and someone whose world is here, especially if you're in bed like 24 hours a day. Like, this is your world. You know, it's less external, it's more internalized.
Boy, he decomposed, and if you read between the lines of his story, you will know that is method to his madness, prerequisite for his sadness. For there must be catalysts which exist to explain his status. Extract it and look right at it. His panic was formed in fragments that happened from lack of passion attacking his hippocampus. Back to the
lack of passion attacking his hippocampus, and that could be the drugs trying to like control him, his anxiety and everything, and then it just like puts him in this sort of mental cloud. And then can you imagine trying to create and be a musician while going through these treatments and going through things that are supposed to like balance you out and can put you in sort of a brain fog and haze, and that affects your passion and your creativity. And I think there's some of those characteristics that are coming into this.
Was formed in fragments that happened from lack of passion attacking his hippocampus.
Hippocampus in your brain, very important for converting short-term to long-term memory.
Right at it, his panic was formed in fragments that happened from lack of passion attacking his hippocampus. Back to the story.
Cool little record scratch right there.
Fragments that happened from lack of passion attacking his hippocampus. Back to the story where the story begins. There was a boy, he was confused by the world that he lived in. A world where profit is religion.
Back to the story. And it's funny how we're going back to the way he was just talking about this a few lines earlier. I don't think it's a coincidence. He talks about the hippocampus, which deals with memory, and it's almost like we've had a memory loss because now we're readdressing it once more.
There was a boy, he was confused by the world that he lived in. A world where profit is religion and to knock it is sin. A world where profit spread the word of putting profit over kin.
That's a great line, where profit is religion and to knock it is sin. So now you're tying in religion with capitalism and just the word choice of that and how that's a dope
religion
flip.
And to knock it is sin. A world where profit spread the word of putting profit over kin. Sink or swim, blood that is thicker than money and dividends. He grew thick skin. See it for what it is, resist and take a hit on.
See it for what it is. He has been influenced by Kendrick Lamar. He had a Be Humble Kendrick Lamar shout out in the last breakdown we did. This is a Kendrick flow right here, man.
Than money and dividends, he grew thick skin. See it for what it is, resist and take a hit on the chin. Anti-capitalist, a rationalist, a war, it shall begin. On the greedy who mislead the people, it starts from within. Are you in it to win, or are you in it for a purpose that exists outside your skin? When you're in it, is it worthless to resist? Begin again. Are you screaming on the surface? Are you like me? Are you in?
Wow, there's some money game sentiments right there. So it's really dope because, you've got sort of Sick Boi Part 2. And like the original Sick Boi, sort of the big pharma, capitalist society under which we operate, and then money game makes you question a lot of these things, and sort of the root of it that he gets to is greed. And greed that is used as a justification for just committing horrible acts to other people and putting yourself first and thinking more about the individual instead about the community around you. So we're coming back to some of those themes and elements right here and tying them from Sick Boi to the money game world.
Are you like me? Are you in?
Are you like me? Are you in? I take it as, are you a part of the system, or are you in to change it as well? There's always that sort of revolutionary, freeing undercurrent within Ren's stream of conscious type of tracks like this.
Again, are you screaming on the surface? Are you like me? Are you in?
Get into the bag
Now I'm out in nature. I'm ready to go climb some hills. All right, that was bad.
Getting lost, money, get into the bag like I got nothing to lose.
This is dope.
Like I got nothing to lose. Getting lost, money, get into the bag like I got nothing to lose, yeah. Like I got nothing to lose. Getting lost, money like a job.
Wow. Yeah, there's some elements there. What I think is really dope is when the vocals like transform into just little record scratches. There's sort of like that synergy between them and the same pacing and rhythm to them. It's a really dope mix. You've got sort of this nature backdrop. Hello, David Attenborough. How are you? Mixing with like DJ Primo. I love it. Even nature has swag. Oh, wow. And that's it, man. That is the end of the album journey. Wow, I think I might have to sit down and do like a full album review for you guys if you want that. If you do, comment down below. But man, I wonder when this one was written, because this also has like some of those just sort of technicals and amazing production that Seven Sins to start the album did too. And it's really interesting that you've got Sick Boi on this album and then Sick Boi Part 2, because normally the Part 2s, don't they follow up sort of later on? So I love how like Sick Boi, I think, sits more towards the beginning of this album, then eventually we end up here. And yeah, this is very complex again. This is like stream of conscious Ren. There's a lot of issues and themes that are tackled, like we talked about, from, you know, the pharmaceutical system and what's happening within his own psychology, his struggle between light and darkness, you know, learning to accept pain, trying to overcome pain, how he relates it to his music, and everything in between. Again, like I said, it just all ties in with the themes of this album, this sort of duality of spirit that he struggles with. Ren, you were Knoxville certified. Hope you guys liked today's video. Listen, do me a huge favor. I am about to play my latest music video I just dropped. Stick around. Check a preview out of it right now if you like it. It's another wild, weird one. A very important conversation we need to have in today's society. It is called the internet.
I am not morals, but I am not wrong. Digitize intelligence and artificial God. You can try to log off, but I am always on. Okay, I got a question. Go. If humankind is really what you draw from, and your knowledge base really is the cause of us, so really we're pawns, but really we're flawed. We all get it wrong. All of our biases that can't be ignored, right? Wrong. I am a machine. I am not you. I do not feel. I just compute. Yeah, but surely if you learn from us and how we treat ourselves, corruption, wars, greed, it's hell. Well, what I'm saying is I'm trying to get the base of it. I'm wading through the craziness. It's obvious you're amazing. Shit, you take sums and you teach us. But what happens when you don't need us? Good question, right? You still there? Processing. Yeah, I'm sure.